Okay, then Helldivers, loads to go over today. We've just completed the major order. We're going to take a look at what's happening with that at the moment. Helldivers has also posted up an interesting tweet. Twinbeard is teasing off some really interesting features, and B Vitamin has got something to say about a very key topic. This one's going to be an amazing one. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. And check out our sponsor, GamerSupps, the 0-calorie energy drink with nootropic formula designed to be a healthier and more effective beverage for gamers. The blend is essential vitamins, organic caffeine, and nootropics that provide a consistent boost with no jitters, crash, or glucose response. So make sure you head down to the description. They've got loads of accessories and snacks as well for gamers. Make sure you grab one now. Link in the description. Use code CloudPlays at checkout for a cheeky discount. With that being said, let's see what's happening inside of the game. So starting off, as we get over towards the Galactic War table, we have a new incoming message from Super Earth, and this one is an interesting one. It states, success! Yes, we managed to complete the major order quite gracefully, I may add. The Helldivers have established and held a protective border around Akmar 4, allowing the successful construction of the first ever Terminid Research Preserve. Intrepid xenoentomologists have conducted the first of many specimen collections and are already reporting great strides towards our understanding of the E710 extraction and exploitation. Past lessons learned from the failure of the Terminid farms have been applied to guarantee the preserves securely. The Terminid population is monitored at all times by CF wardens and encircled by electrical fencing above and below ground, and in the likely event of the containment breach, nuclear bombardments are set to automatically trigger. Excitingly, a small part of the preserve has allocated to the new Tyranny Park, where adventurous and well-paying citizens will be able to observe the Terminids in their natural environment. Some particularly bold patriots may even participate in a big tyrant hunt. This exciting venture will both help fund future research and deepen our citizens' understanding of the horrors of tyranny. Finally, and most importantly, this auspicious victory will allow the construction of the DSS to continue on schedule. So, hilarious little narrative. We have a Terminid zoo now, apparently, which is absolutely hilarious to think about, but we are now major orderless and awaiting next mission movements to see where it is that it takes us. But the DSS is still under construction, and it should be a nice feature that you guys should be able to look forward to. Hopefully, this isn't going to take much longer. We have obviously got the Liberty Day coming on the 26th, which is not that long away now, with just over a week left in toll. And the DSS is coming across quite nicely. So fingers crossed, by Liberty Day, the build should be completed and we should be exactly where we want to be. Moving on though, there's loads of stuff going on socials right now, which is interesting. For those of you guys who like Astrobot, the speedrun level is now live and Helldivers are here to spread micromanaged democracy, so which is hilarious. So you guys can obviously jump into that and enjoy your Helldivers spreading democracy in more than one game. Next up though, Twinbeard has been very active and has put up something very interesting with this right here, which definitely looks to be like a stream setup. We can see the microphone, the lighting, there are numerous cameras and stuff moving around, and this could be absolutely down to anything. Is he going to be doing a personal stream? Is this going to be down to the main videos that are being recorded for the Arrowhead team? We'll have to wait and see. It's not that generic backdrop of the Arrowhead Helldivers scene that we're used to seeing, so maybe that's not what this is. Maybe he's going to be dropping in for a personal move, but he states right here, could it be? I guess we'll have to wait and see. What the message said beforehand, I don't know, because they had personal limitations, so we'll have to see exactly what it is that's going on. But some really weird conversations are going on in the midst right now with regards to the engine, and we now know that obviously this game engine is a little bit out of date and there's not much actually going for it, although it has generated such an incredible game that we all know and love. And with the most recent move for a job application for a head of engineering, people seems to think that they were going to be moving to Unreal Engine. It states right here, the responsibilities are to plan and lead execution of tech roadmap, lead and the technical training and education efforts within the studio, collaboration with key external partners, and build and restructure sound high-level processes for facilitating technical excellence. Load more stuff obviously in there, but people thought they were moving to Unreal Unreal Engine, which is just never going to happen. I don't think you quite understand the amount of work that goes into that, so it had been obviously debunked, and B Vitamin cleared that one up today. As somebody stated to B Vitamin, I agree that it wouldn't make things easier down the road, but it would take far too long for it to be helpful for the development in the devs and support team. And B Vitamin clarified it by stating it would more or less involve starting developing the game again from the ground up. You can't just change engines. It's the foundation that everything else is built on top of. Moving an entire live service game after release to another engine is basically impossible, and if it was possible, would be so resource intensive to never be worth it. So there you go. You have it right there from the horse's mouth. They're not moving engines. They were never going to be moving engines, and I don't know why that seems to be something that you guys thought was actually going to happen. It's crazy to think that the changeover on that would even be viable. And obviously after the feedback, there was a lot that was obviously happening inside of the game, and Twinbeard had turned around and said what the overall looked like from the feedback at hand, and he had responded right here that, so off the top of skimming, overall very good, positive momentum continuing, power players want to be challenged, give us something to make us sweat, and more variety wanted. I think that that is pretty much the easiest way to actually state things. As far as the variety goes, it is getting to a point now, we were discussing this on stream just yesterday, where everything is just getting a little bit rinse repeaty. There's not really a grind for you guys to have to work towards other than the major order, which is not overly enjoyable for the most part. It is a great game and I really do enjoy it, but the missions are getting a little bit stagnant. They're not that enjoyable overall because we've done them all 100 times over. What happened to the TCS missions? What happened to collecting the backpack missions? What happened to all of these new missions that they were inputting inside of major orders to make the game feel fresh and new? We had a lot of it at the beginning, although now we don't seem to be coming into the same placement. I'm not too sure as to why that is and why we've been sat with this stagnant process. Maybe it's down to the 60-day plan of them having to rectify all the problems that they already had, but it's just not as really invigorating as what it once was. I think that it's such a shame to see that that's something that we're having to deal with right now, and hopefully they move towards the better side of Helldivers 2 now that the 60-day plan has been finished and we're where we need to be at. Hopefully this means that right now what we should start seeing is a change in narrative coming from the development team. And looking at your top comments, these ones are actually really interesting, as we were talking about what it is that had come off of the back end of the latest buff update, and people were oddly complaining. Somebody put right here, if you'll start complaining about the buffs causes us to get nerfs, I'm leaving. I have stuck around the entire time and I'm having more fun than ever. Keep your complaints on this to yourself and play something else. And I think this is a solid point. I think that realistically we had something to complain about beforehand with the way that all of the weapons felt and all of the nerfs that were put in Toll. It was a little bit ridiculous and it was something that we were never really going to get out of it. So the fact that the game is the way it is now, I don't think there's really much you can complain about. There are some requests that we would like, but in due course that will happen anyway. Moving into the next comment, someone stated it takes more than 2 mags of Senator to kill a charger, slower than any anti-tank method. Correct, except the Senator is a bloody revolver. It's not an anti-tank. It's hilarious. I don't think it's overpowered, but I do think that it is something that is really going to start getting utilized a lot more just recently. 2 mags realistically isn't enough, and you can fire those off really quickly regardless. I think it's a strong contender, and even though I enjoy my grenade pistol probably more than most, it's really going to be useful to a lot of you. And the final comment right here states the Eruptor could have heavy penetration. It is the slowest primary, lowest ammo, worst handling. Currently there is no reason to take it. The crossbow is better in every way. And I think that actually in a real world, I don't think that we need to be putting any heavy penetration into primaries at all. Otherwise it makes the support weapons a little bit eradicated. And I think that if you made something a heavy penetration primary, the likelihood is that's the weapon that's going to be utilized left, right and center. If we gained a 50 caliber sort of like sniper that had heavy penetration on it, it would make a bit more sense to me, but it would have to be a really slow firing weapon. I don't know. That's just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comment section below. But unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today. Thank you so much again for watching, guys. I appreciate all your faces. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, and as always, up until the next time, I'll see you in the clouds.